Green Hollow, a small village deep in the English countryside, had been peaceful for decades until a horrifying discovery shook the entire community. An abandoned house at the edge of the village, left neglected for many years, was finally being demolished to make way for a new development project. During the demolition, workers uncovered a deep burial pit beneath the wooden floor of the house. This pit contained fragments of human bones, all completely decomposed. According to forensic investigations, the bodies had been buried there for many years, intentionally concealed. The police quickly took over, transforming the abandoned house from an overlooked location into the crime scene of one of the most gruesome serial murders in British history. The bodies, buried for 5 to 10 years, were carefully wrapped in sacks and stacked on top of each other, reflecting the killer's meticulous planning. The victims' identities gradually emerged. Most were homeless individuals, beggars, people marginalized by society, with no families to search for them, no one to miss them. This raised a troubling question. Why had these unfortunate people become the target of a murderer? All suspicions pointed to Richard Thompson, the owner of the house. According to villagers, Richard was once an ordinary man, but after the loss of his wife and his job, he became bitter and reclusive. Richard frequently brought homeless people into his home, claiming he wanted to help them. But no one could have imagined that beneath this facade of kindness lay twisted and brutal ideology. Richard believed that beggars and the homeless were society's burdens, parasites that needed to be purified to restore the community's purity. With this distorted belief, Richard systematically killed each person he lured into his home, using a hammer to deliver fatal blows before burying them beneath the floorboards. When arrested in a small town after years on the run, Richard showed no remorse. In his chilling confession, he stated, "They were parasites unworthy of life. I did what society didn't have the courage to do." The case ended with Richard being sentenced to life imprisonment. Yet, the horror he left behind remains indelible. The abandoned house, now just an empty plot of land, stands as a grim symbol of a crime born out of hatred and delusion. The people of Green Hollow now grieve not only for the victims, but also for their own years of silence, haunted by the fact that the killer had lived among them unnoticed.